What's up guys, welcome to the channel, and in today's video we are going to discuss about constructors and how we can define functions in classes in the OOPS concept in Python. So guys, in the last video we actually declared a class named employee, and after that we made a class variable, then we declared some of its objects. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to copy this whole code, and after that I'm going to make a new Python file. So I'll name this Python file as oops4, because this is our fourth video of the oops concept in Python, and after that I'm simply going to paste it. So as you can see guys, that we had declared this variable, and after that we had made some instances, then we had made some instance variables of the objects, and similarly now you know that we can write the object name, and after that we can print its instance variable by writing a dot and the name of that instance variables. So I'm not going to repeat myself over and over, and for the guys who haven't accessed my Python for Absolute Beginners playlist, the link is in the description, so you can access it from there. So guys, when I put brackets, as you can see my PyCharm ID, it automatically gives me a parameter right here called self. Now please don't delete this parameter, because I will tell you why this parameter is important. Self is basically something related to an object. For example, when I have written print salary inside this class named employee, and when I write emp1 dot print salary, so if I write it right here, I will write emp1 dot print salary. As you can see, when I write this, whenever you are writing a function with respect to an instance, an object, what happens is that the object goes into the function as a parameter, and that this self right here, it acts as that object inside this function, and after that you can use this object. For example, you can write self dot name, you can access its instance variables, and basically the object, the instance that you are applying this function to, it goes into this function as a parameter. So that's why self is really important. Self is basically just the object or the instance you are applying this function to. So now if I print, I'll write an f string, so I'll write f, and after that I'll write the name of the employee is, so I'll write employee is, and after that I'll put a bracket, so I'll write self dot name, because as you can see that the self is an object, and we have declared instance variables for the objects. We have written emp dot name, so when emp goes into this function, the self will be emp, and after that we can we can use emp dot name in the f string, and after that I'll print the salary of the employee, so I'll write salary of the employee is self dot salary. So when I write this, it will access the salary of the object, and after that I'll write the age of the employee, so I'll write age is, and then self dot age. So guys, if I remove this right here, if I remove emp dot age, and after that if I write emp2 dot print salary, and I'll run this program right here, so as you can see that it will call the function, but it will give me an error. Why? Because when I removed emp2 dot age, what happened is that the instance variable related to emp2, that is age, it got removed, and my function could not access age from that object. So I've wrote self dot age right here, so my function, it could not access self dot age because I have never made emp2 dot age. So I'll have to put the emp2 dot age back again, and when I run this program again, I'll write emp2 dot print salary. So when I run it again, as you can see, it won't give me an error, and it will print that the employee name is Sid, and after that the employee age is 30, and the salary of Sid is 3000. So this is a really good tool, that is we can use functions in object oriented programming. And guys, I hope you understood what does self mean. Self is basically the object and instance that you are applying this function to. I know I'm repeating myself because this is a really important concept, guys. And when I wrote print, so I shouldn't write print right here, because I want to return this statement. Because when we are printing this function right here, what it will do is that it will print none, and I don't want that to happen. So I'll write print employee2 dot print salary, and after that if I run it, it will give me the same output. So as you can see, it has given me the same output. And if I write employee 1 dot print salary, it will print that the name of the employee is Ansh and the salary of the employee is 2000, and etc. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to comment this out, and after that I'll explain it to you why we should use functions in classes. Now guys, object oriented programming is not something that you should learn. It is a solution to your programming problems. No, it is not like that. It is just a way of programming in which programmers, they refer to object oriented programming much more, because it is a good way of structuring your program. As you can see that we are keeping functions inside some particular classes, we are structuring them perfectly, and we are planning our code very perfectly with the use of object oriented programming. So it's not something that a programmer should always use object oriented programming. It is just a way of programming, and it is really important to learn if you are going into it, because if you don't know about object oriented programming, then, and if you go into big companies where they actually use object oriented programming, then it will not act as an advantage to you. So so guys, don't think that object oriented programming is something that you have to learn, and it is mandatory. No, it is not something mandatory. It's just a way of learning programming. So now as you can see guys, that we had defined a function right here and we had used it. And now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to tell you about a constructor. Now guys, what is a constructor in a class? Earlier I told you why we use these brackets inside a class. Now we are going to make the use of these brackets, and we are going to write something in it. As you can see that I had declared so many variables, instance variables for this classes. I had written emp.name is equal to Ansh, then I have written emp.name is equal to Sid, and after that I had to repeat my code. I have repeated my code. I have written .name twice, then I have written .age.salary twice, and this is a repetition of code. So guys, how would you like it if I write Ansh right here? If I write Ansh right here, and after that if I put 56 in this, and after that if I put 2000 in this. So how convenient it would be if I put like this, and after that my employee class in which I'm passing these argument, it automatically binds these instance variables to this object right here. So how convenient that would be, right? So we can do that with the help of constructors. Actually, these brackets, as you can see right here guys, we can pass arguments inside these brackets, and with the help of the constructors we can do anything with these parameters. So I'll comment this out. I am not initializing instance variables for each class, because this is basically the repetition of the code, and we are now moving on to the advance of Python. So we should focus now more on optimization and how we can reduce the repetition of code. So now what I can do to make a constructor, actually I will uncomment this out, and after that what I'll do is that I'll write def. And for a constructor, if you want to make a constructor, you need to write underscore underscore init. Now init acts as a constructor of this particular class employee, and after that you can provide arguments in it. For example, as you can see, I'm giving 3 arguments, Ansh, 56 and 2000. So I can write the name, I can provide arguments, and after that I can write the age. So I'll have to put it together, and after that the salary. And here as you can see that I have provided 3 arguments: the name, the age, the salary. The self right here, it acts as an object and instance on which we are using the init function. So in this case we are using it on emp1, so self will be emp1. So after this I will have to write self dot name is equal to the name, and after this I'll write self dot age is equal to the age. Then I'll write self dot the salary, self dot salary is equal to the salary. And now guys, we have made instance variables for self, that is emp1. So I'll similarly have to provide arguments inside emp2, because I'm telling it to be an object of this employee class. So I'll write sid, and basically whatever I had written here, I'll just copy it. So 30 was his age and 3000 was his salary. So if I run this program right here guys, as you can see, it won't give me an error and it is working perfectly fine. So if you guys haven't understood what I've done right here, I'll recap it for you. Basically, I have written def underscore underscore init that acts as a constructor. Whenever you are making an object of this employee class, you will need to provide these arguments, these three arguments. The self argument does not get counted because that is the object itself, and you need not write employee one right here because the self automatically takes the object inside. So we had written in it self, the name, the age, the salary, three parameters, and after that the self is an object. So in that function I had written object dot name, that is I'm making an instance variable with respect to that object is equal to the name. Then I've made age and salary as the other instance variables, and I've initialized them to the age and the salary. So that's how guys the constructor works. It basically you basically need to provide the arguments while making the object itself, and it is a really convenient method in order to do that, because as you can see right here we had declared the variables one by one, and it was just repetition of code and it was a real headache. So constructor can act as a really good benefit right here, and we can initialize the instance variables for it. Now if I print, I'll write emp1 dot print salary. Then what will happen is that my function will work perfectly fine. It will write the name of employee is I basically had to print it because I haven't printed inside the function. It returned the statement. So if I run it again, as you can see, it has printed the name of the employee is Ansh, the salary of the employee is 2000, and the age is 56. So our program works perfectly fine. And again guys, if I remove this self right here and if I run this program, as you can see, it will give me an error. It will tell me that print salary, it takes 0 positional arguments but 1 was given. Now what is this 1 guys? It is the object and instance that we are providing inside the function. So I've basically proved myself right here that we are passing an object inside this function. And for the guys who haven't understood, I hope that you understood it after this error has come, because we are actually providing the object as an argument. So I'll have to write self inside it. And I hope guys that you understood how we can make constructors in this. I can even provide more variables. For example, I can write number of leaves. I can write number of leaves, and after that what I can do is that I can provide the number of leaves right here. So 10 is the number of leaves for each client, and for example if Sid has more number of leaves I can write 20. And then similarly I can make instance variables for these objects. So I can write number of leaves, and then I can initialize it to number of leaves. So I'll make these distinct variables. So I'll write e number of leaves right here, and after that I can print the number of leaves as well. So I can write number of leaves of the employee is, and then I can write self dot number of leaves. So if I run this program right here, as you can see, it will print the number of leaves as well. So I hope guys that you understood everything that I've talked about in this video. If you have any doubts, you can comment it out. I will be more than happy to help you. And if you guys haven't accessed my Python for Absolute Beginners playlist, the link is in the description. I hope that you guys learned about self today. I hope that you guys have cleared your concepts about self and how a constructor works in Python, how we can use it most importantly in the OOPS concept. This was all for today's video. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. I hope you're safe, and I'll see you next time.